What's up guys, welcome to Daily Refinement. Today's video we're going to talk about the holy grail of reselling. So please smash the like button, consider subscribing. Let's get into it. Okay guys, so I want to break down what the holy grail of reselling is. It's two parts. One part is where your bank account always goes up. And the other part is the number of listings you have or the number of opportunities you have to make money also increases. So both of those have to be true. You have to be making more money every single week and more opportunities every single week. There's another term that I like to use on my channel called reseller nirvana. And that's where you buy and sell the same number of items. I'm currently there at 1,300 items. So the math behind that is I'm at least $20 an item. Currently, I'm at around $27 average sale price times 1,300 items. That's the math behind doing 7 figures of revenue per year. I'm currently not at my capacity. I have enough space and enough staff to get to 2,000. And on my own, I would run probably around 1,000 items per week would be the max if I was a solo operation. But I've decided I want to grow a little bit beyond that. And I want to talk to you guys about how to achieve the holy grail of reselling. And essentially what you need to do is you need to earn enough profit to replace the item that you sold. So you sold one item. You need to be able to buy 2 items now and also put some money in your pocket. And I'm going to go over a couple of strategies that are really important to get you there. Number one, you're going to want to get pickier with the items that you pick. So you only have so much time in the day. So what you want to do is continuously improve the types of items that you buy. And this is really interesting. Typically, your average sale price starts to decline as you grow because your attention gets spread out a little bit more thin and you can only get so many profitable items in your geographical area. So as you expand and buy more items, typically the quality gets worse. So it's really important to always be thinking, how can I increase my average sale price, which comes down to knowing more about item specifics. Nothing has been more humbling than running my Facebook group about resellers with my colleague Tech and Sports, because in all the calls, when you listen to category experts, they mention things that make an item worth $50, $60, $90, $100. And most people would just walk right by them in the thrift store, not knowing which item specifics make them more valuable. As you guys have noticed, probably from watching my channel for 5 years, I don't have any category specific calls because I personally am not an expert in any category. I would say the closest category I am to being an expert is mall brand clothing. And mall brand clothing doesn't have the nuance as like jewelry or vintage or antiques. Those types of categories, there's more history, there's more to know, there's more variations that make it worth a lot more. I don't deal in fine jewelry, I don't deal in rare coins, I don't deal in categories with a huge fluctuation. I'm sort of selling common items. So being an expert in common items is very easy. You could just go to the mall, walk through the entire mall, you have a similar amount of knowledge that I do. I'm essentially just focusing on the business part of it, which is what am I purchasing the items for? What's the average price of an item on eBay? So to give you guys an idea, most clothing on eBay sells for $12, including shipping. Not a very good margin. It's just people selling their common goods that they have around their closet. It's just a hodgepodge. In the pre-owned category, which is where I'm at, it's about $12. I have been able to diversify into really just the outerwear, the more designer end of the mall. That's how my average sale price is in the $24 to $27 range. It's $24. It was $24 on eBay. It's now $27 on Whatnot. And the reason why it's a little bit higher on Whatnot is because I've been doing some lots. So some of my lots have 2 items, 3 items. It's easier to show 3 shirts in a row that are the same and the same size than on eBay. Building a multiple item spreadsheet's a little bit more challenging. So I'm always thinking about ways to maximize my average sale price. Now, I was conversing with my videographer before the video and asking her how she could take on more video clients. She doesn't have more time in the day, so I couldn't say, today let's make 4 videos instead of 1. That's like me telling you, instead of doing 10 listings, let's do 40 today. You may not have that capacity, so you need to think about a higher quality item, more premium, and that's where your average sale price needs to go up. But you can't have your average sale price so high you don't buy anything. So she can't say, I'm only going to charge $5,000 a video. There may not be enough clients at the $5,000 per video, so she might have to lower it. And it's important to understand when you're in the beginning of being a videographer, you take on any client. When you're in the beginning of reselling, you sell everything. But you become more picky as you grow. And so hopefully you guys as resellers have become more picky over the years. I've become more picky with everything. Like I'm very picky with my friends. I'm very picky about who I listen to. That's why I unfollowed everybody on social media, because I am really thinking about who I choose to listen to, who's giving me the advice that I really need to get to the next level, and have they actually done it? I'm watching, like, no offense to other resellers in the industry, but there's not somebody on YouTube that's where I want to be. That's why I'm not following any reseller YouTubers right now, because where I want to be is every single month my bank account grows and the number of offerings I have grows. And there's really only Tech and Sports is like that. I don't know any other resellers where both of those go up. You can sell the same number of items share, right? So let's say your goal is 100 per week. But as you improve, when the systems start to notch up, so let's say, for example, all of a sudden you have access to greater supply, or you have access to greater space, or you've been saving money for a while, now you have a pile of money that you want to invest. Now that those resources are in place, okay, you've already been putting the work in, you've been at this level for a while, you've been collecting money for a while, you've learned how to make things more efficient. Maybe you're done at 2 o'clock now and you've got 3 more hours of time in the day. You have the time, you have the money, you have the space, you know what you're doing. Okay, now increase your listing habit. But so many people take on listings that they have no business buying because they can't list it. So you can only list 10 a day, but you're buying 12 a day. That's a huge problem. Over the course of a month, you're going to collect 60 items that you can't list. Because my videographer can't take on 10 more clients because there might be 4 clients that never get a video done. Other videos are maybe defective. Maybe clips get intermingled from one client to the other. That could happen if you have too many clients. So it's important to understand as you grow, you can raise your rates, you can raise your ASP, you can get pickier with what you're investing in. Don't be so picky you don't have any clients. And then as you increase your knowledge, you start to notice all the shortcuts. I can use this for this type of video. I can use this type of cleaner to clean this type of shoes. I can go to this one location and get 10 items instead of 4. And your item knowledge is really important. If you join our Patreon group for the next couple of days, until August 1st, you get access to our white papers. And inside there, we go over how to find items in your area locally by your zip code. But there's plenty of resources in the group at the $5 level. You get access to Tech's hat replay. And in that video, he goes over like 10 years of experience in the hat industry. So you would never know that some hats are worth 1,000, some hats are worth 1,500, why some hats are cooler, some hats are not cooler. So if you join the group and you learn from people, like I thought I knew clothing until I watched somebody tell me 10 different types of cotton. 10 different types of cotton, 10 different types of weave, 10 different type of brands. Some brands are valuable when they're old and they're not valuable when they're new. Some brands are valuable when they're new and they're not. Some brands are extraordinarily valuable if they've never been worn. Some, if they've never been worn, they fall apart. It's like there's so much that goes into every single niche. And remember that when you pick up an item, you're competing against somebody who knows every single thing about that item. So if you focus on your customer, which is what some subsequent videos are going to be about, it's a big difference over thinking about what you want. So I'm not really thinking about what I want. I'm thinking about what do 1,300 clothing customers want. And when I'm focusing on it, it helps me deliver a better product to them, right? So they're able to get an item sooner, faster, cleaner, better described, more measurements, better selection. I'm working on that part of it, and that has nothing to do with what I want. So people always ask questions about how to make things easier or how to take a vacation. I just want people to know those are not related. Okay guys, so as you begin your reselling career and you start accumulating some money and some profit, you're gonna wanna invest that into improving your processes. And again, that doesn't necessarily require money, but you could take a class, let's say on bookkeeping or accounting, or you could take a class on inventory management. You could go to a university and learn from someone who's run a brick and mortar store. All these types of education are designed for one thing, in my opinion, which is to improve your business practices and improve your capacity. There's nothing like, we have the same 24 hours in the day, so how come I'm averaging almost 200 items a day sold and other people are only averaging 1 to 5 items? Same 24 hours, I have 40 times the capacity. Because I think all day long, I'm thinking about how to improve my processes, how to increase my capacity, and I'm not even anywhere near my capacity. I think that it's possible to probably 10x what I'm doing easily. I just don't fully understand all the parts that I need. I don't have the right resources in place. But the good thing about reselling and the good thing about entrepreneurship, in my opinion, is that you don't need any money to start. And it's better to learn how to turn $1 into $2 into $4, than to start with $200 and make $199 worth of mistakes. Just go slowly. If you need more help, if you need more accountability, join our Patreon at patreon.com/theresellers podcast. I encourage you guys to get the annual subscription because reselling can take a while. Learning all these processes, learning how everything works takes time. Be patient, get in there, find an accountability partner if you want, but I recommend the best way to use it is to post what you're working on today. Today, I'd like to accomplish 15 listings per day. This is what my photo setup looks like. This is what my listing looks like. This is what I know. Post it, and then a month later, a year later, you're gonna go back to that post and you're gonna be like, wow, I am so different than that original post. Same with me, when I look back a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, my business is totally different. So you can't scale your way to profitability. So if you don't know what you're doing, you can't grow bigger and learn how to do it like that. I recommend you just stay small. Stay small, figure out how it works on a small scale, then grow. And I'm guilty of that too. Growing before you understand what's going to happen is a big problem. That's something really interesting about my YouTube channel. I didn't get a videographer or somebody to help me with SEO or an agent until I actually could afford it, right? So some people will hire all that stuff out first, and then you really never get to a point where your channel or your reselling business is profitable. So do profitability first. Focus on making $1 profit, then 2, then 4, and then at that point, you can pour some gas on the fire. But to be honest, at this point, once you start doing $100,000 a month in sales or in revenue in your business, every single bank in America is trying to give you money, but I honestly don't even know what I would spend it on. I don't know how to grow this business faster because I'm honestly still learning. At 1,300 items a week, I'm still learning the basics. So really important to understand, taking outside money and putting it into your business is so risky that I don't recommend it really at all. I recommend that you just take your time. So I appreciate you guys. See you next time.